Such an action would completely destroy relations between the two nations. Following a string of violent crimes that have recently shocked China, authorities in Beijing are urging heightened attention to common disputes among citizens, emphasizing private conflicts that could escalate into violent incidents.
China has been contending with numerous violent crimes nationwide, leading to significant casualties.
Across the U.S., once thriving business districts have become deserted as the shift to remote work has shown that many jobs can be performed outside of traditional office spaces.
To address this, several major cities are repurposing vacant office buildings into housing units.
A former Kentucky sheriff accused in the September fatal shooting of a judge has been arraigned on new charges, marking the latest development in the high-profile case.
This week's arraignment for Sean Mickey Steins took place at the Letcher County Courthouse.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Bing, bing, bing. Give it a bang, bang. Bobbity boop. That's right. Coffee. The most important meal of the day. That too is all I gotta say.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Yeah.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
It looks a little yellow, doesn't he? Why do I look yellow? You look a little yellow to me.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Whatever.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking.
I'll wake up.
That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Oh. Do I? How come I look so yellow? Somebody's got to do something about this yellowness. Where's my color adjustment? There you go. That's a little better. Yeah, we'll go with that. Maybe I can't be helped. How about that? Maybe I'm just old and yellow looking. That too. Oh, good morning, you dirty bastards. That's you dirty bastards. Is that going to replay itself or is it just going to click off? Let's see. Oh, nice. Turned itself off. Everything's backwards. Ass backwards. Good morning, folks. It is Friday, Black Friday, November 29th. 2024. I hope you enjoyed your feast yesterday. If you had one, I actually didn't. I'm going to make the turkey today because I'm just a rebel that way. I said, you know what? Everybody else is doing it. I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to be a contrarian. And with an O, contrarian, not a U. Okay. So I sat here. Here's the deal. I've been propositioned. Yes, I have been propositioned to teach beginner painting classes. You know, they have these sip and paint things where you go to a bar or a restaurant and you get drunk, you're a little wined out, and you learn to do like basic Bob Ross beginner paintings. I've been offered to teach that, but not in restaurants and bars. In corporations, like where I perform generally. I don't know what's going on with corporate America. But anyway, they want to put on classes for art classes, I guess, as a perk and have me teach beginner art classes. So I bought a couple of canvases. I haven't set up my art studio yet. But I need to kind of get some ideas together. So yesterday I was just working in Photoshop with just a mouse and coming up with some basic, simple paintings to teach people. And that's how I spent my day yesterday. Thankful for not having to socialize with the world and not having to see any MAGA idiots in my life. I think all the MAGA idiots have been flushed out of my life, which is a good thing. So I'm thankful for that. We have a show for you today, I think. In the first hour, we're supposed to meet a guy named Tyler Barker, who I believe is a college kid with a podcast called Table for Two. Although there are like 3 different podcasts I've found called Table for Two. His seems to be one based out of Washington State. And I believe he's a college kid. I believe he's also a stand-up comedian with about 5 minutes of material. Isn't everybody? I mean, let's face it. What do you got here? Something's going on. These people just running away. Whatever don't tell me I'll be right back. Just go and come back when you come back. I'm sorry. I'm yelling at people behind the scenes already. It's just one of those days. It's Black Friday, and let me tell you, Papoose-Patak. I still want to say Papoose-Patak has a Black Friday sale, 25% off all THC products all day. What do you think I'm going to be doing after the show? Well, anyway, lots of Black Friday sales going on. So get your blacks while you can. Go there half off. You get half a black. I'm sorry. I'm being racist already and just a terrible person. I'm just a terrible person. So in the first hour, we're supposed to have Tyler Barker, who might be here and might not be here because of time zone differences. He's generally first scheduled for yesterday, which, like, come on. We're not doing a show on Thanksgiving. I mean, if we did a show, it would not be an interview show or any of that kind of stuff. We wouldn't be with, like, guests. It would just be like a party, come on in and watch the parade, but we decided not to do that. Anyway, Jackie the Joke Man Martling might be joining us around 10-ish. And at 10:15, we're expecting Neil Young's brother Bob and Neil. Neil and Bob and Neil and Bob. Bob is a golfer who believes in metaphysics, and he's going to be discussing his book called Mind Golf. He's Neil Young's brother. Did I mention that? Neil Young's brother. And I believe he has a song out with Neil called Hey America. Now, here's the thing. They're both from Canada. Neil probably has dual citizenship now. I think he lives somewhere in the States. He went to L.A. as a teenager to become part of, or ended up becoming part of Buffalo Springfield, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and then Neil Young and Crazy Horse and all that kind of stuff. But so he probably has dual citizenship. But I think Bob, the Canadian, like, it's not like I'm not telling Canada how to run their country. I'm not telling America how to run their country, and I'm an American. I say that with a little bit of shame at this point. Yes, I'm not proud to be an American. No, not in this world. Not in this. Listen, we have. I don't want to get into it. We have a half at least half the country that's just got their head so far up their ass that they don't know. They're not even trying to do the right thing. So anyway, that's the show we have for you today. It is Black Friday. I have a new sponsor that I can't even tell you about because I went to, it's Curiosity Box. I could tell you about it. The link is in the description. Curiosity Box is it's fun. It's for people who want to learn. It's science toys. It's learning about things. It's unique and crazy stuff. I could share some of the nonsense that I'm seeing on the screen right now of science experiments and toys and stuff. It's for learning. Curiosity Box. They have a Black Friday sale going on right now, and you get a free box. You get a free box for if you sign up for a annual subscription. It's every month they send you a new box of science toys, and science toys are different than sex toys, just a little bit. Just a little bit. You could probably use the science toys as a sex toy in some way. Other than that, Opus Clip also has Opus Pro also has a Black Friday sale going on. Opus Pro is an AI app which will help you solve all your video editing needs, and the link for them is in the description. They have a commercial that goes something like this. That's good coffee. Is this commercial ever going to end? All right. Is this commercial ever going to end? What the hell is that kind of layout, folks? We don't want to do that. Why? I thought I pulled Steven out of here. Steven, with his big ugly mug that just pops in uninvited, just that big old ugly face is taking up the whole screen because he's on his phone, decided to run away before coming on the air today. So right now we have Ron, I ate too much turkey cane, and GD, I'm on sale today, Black Friday, Fenderson. See it? Talk about big, fat, ugly faces. Steven, the sitcom Ortiz, is with us now with this big, ugly face. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Point at America. MindDogTV.com. Happy Black Friday. For those of you who don't want to stand in line to find out that the thing you stood in line for is all gone, shop at MindDogTV.com. No lines, plenty of stock, and
we got lines.
And you can be sure that they don't have what you're about to buy because no one's bought one yet. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
No, we have lines. You said we don't have lines. We got plenty of lines. We have lines. We have little spoonfuls.
The Whitney Houston special.
Yes. What did that big ugly mug say? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being abusive to Steven already.
It's okay, buddy. You know what? I know Thanksgiving was rough for you, so have fun.
All right. Ron, did your little thing? I know this is before the holidays. You were about to find out about more work. You were applying for more work. How did that go?
Well, no, I was supposed to have a seminar or something, but I moved that because my wife had an appointment.
You know what?
And Steven should make more noise.
Are you a retard?
Yeah, he is a retard.
I'm being attacked by a rabbit right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
Fucking kill it.
I can't. It's
and
a
then
family
you got
pet.
echo
They won't
going
let me.
on.
I've tried.
You got echo going on. Echo. You had echo going on.
Weird.
All right. Did you guys enjoy your holiday yesterday? You had look. Somebody's got echo going on. Somebody just punch yourself in the face. All three of you, just punch yourself in the face.
Oh.
All right, thank you. Save me some work.
Black on black crime is out of hand.
Right.
Look, it's retard abuse.
Right, retard. Did you enjoy your little feast, your holiday, your whatever you call it? You had a good day. Your family loving.
Oh yeah.
Did you have MAGA people over? Look, he mutes himself now. What's with this kid? Did you bring this kid?
That's why you shouldn't feed a cripple. They follow you home and you can't get rid of them.
Unless you live upstairs, then we kind of, disappear.
Are you in a different home now? I mean, home. When I say home, I don't mean house.
Well, he went out to visit family for Thanksgiving and they didn't let him leave.
Yeah.
Correct.
He took away the ramp. She can't get out.
Yes.
Everybody's got weird mic shit going on. You're in a whole different situation.
Hold on. Let me take off.
Why don't you just take a shit?
I just did take a shit. That's why I was late. But let me take off the lavalier mic and see if that helps.
What a fucking technical. On Black Friday, he's got to do experiments. Now, if you want to do experiments, you can go to Curiosity Box and use our link that's in the description and get some science experiments.
And make sure that you use the Mind Dog TV promotion so he gets credit.
Yeah, the link in the description. You're not going to just go to curiositybox.com. You have to use our link. That's what I said. It's links in the description.
Yeah, and make sure you use the link in the description so he.
That's right. I said that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Did anyone spend Thanksgiving pining that Diddy did not get released on parole?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even hear about it.
I didn't even care.
Ron gets the pedophile newsletter.
You gotta know what's going on, man.
You gotta know what's going on in the world of pedophilia. All right.
I get all my news from the Nambla Report.
Okay. You got a card?
No, I'm not a card-carrying member, but I do pay dues. That's how I get the report.
All right. So yeah, we got Neil Young's brother in the second hour, Bob, and they have a song out called, and now it's part of the audiobook for Mind Golf. This is going to be an interesting conversation, and Jackie might be with us for the whole thing. Your friend Jackie, you love Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie's great.
Onassis? You got Jackie Onassis back?
Yeah,
He hasn't been on the show for years.
Something like that. I'm talking about Jackie, the most famous comedian who ever lived.
Jackie Robinson.
Comedian, not baseball player.
Oh, he's black. He's got to be funny, too. You think he didn't have jokes? Put up with all that shit. You think he didn't have jokes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Just because it's Black Friday doesn't mean everybody's black.
Huh.
Okay? 3/5 max.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they used to call my uncle, 3/5 max.
That's what he was missing from the D's down.
Our guest is already here, so I don't want to belabor this nonsense too much longer. But I did want to say I watched Jeselnik, and although it's very funny, it's a little short. It's a little, I was expecting it's not quite a full hour, right?
51 minutes.
Yeah,
from top to bottom.
That's a little short. Isn't that a little short?
A lot of new specials have been between like 50 and like 65 minutes now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I did want a little more. I wanted a little more.
That means he did it right.
I can see the 50 because whenever they re-release things on thing that can have commercials, that way they can fill it out and it'll be like a 60-minute program. That's if you ever look at anything that's on commercial television, and our program only has like
you leave time for the commercials, but not on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm saying unless they're planning for at some point having, let's say, a Netflix Lite where they have commercials.
Stop making excuses for a guy who just couldn't come up with 3 or 4 more jokes to kill us.
I don't know because I didn't.
You're making excuses for a guy who making 3 or 4.
I'm not making specials for him. I'm talking about Netflix and programming. I don't give a shit about him.
You're making excuses for a guy who couldn't come up with 3 or 4 more jokes.
That's not him. Or 4 more minutes of applause, or 9 more minutes of applause. He could have kept the same number of jokes and got more applause.
I'm gonna make a terrible prediction here. Something is wrong with Anthony Jeselnik. My psychic medium self said
he's doing comedy.
No, I mean something physically wrong with him.
Well, I think I bet he's probably vegan now.
I think it's ass cancer. It probably could be dietary, but maybe it's not ass cancer. I shouldn't jump to that conclusion.
Isn't ass cancer dietary because it's eating
it is.
Your ass?
It could be more coming in than going out that causes it too.
Something is wrong with him. We're going to find out in short term that he's not.
Is he coming on the show?
Yeah, he's going to be on.
I thought you were going to ask him. I thought you were going to have him on the show.
No, I am. I'm going to have him. He's on Wednesday.
Well, okay. I don't think he looked like sick.
I'm sorry,
like
Thursday.
Natural way, but he looked really skinny and he looked really frail, kind of.
Right.
Definitely a comedian then.
Right.
You mean emotionally frail?
Come on, load you.
No, I thought you meant emotionally frail.
Okay.
Right.
No, physically. I don't. No, Jeselnik, I doubt is emotionally frail. Physically,
I'm pretty sure he is. If he's doing comedy, he's emotionally frail. He just doesn't own up to it.
Frail damage.
He'll be on Thursday. Now, before we get to our guest, and it looks like our guest doesn't have a camera. Like he's just going to do this audio. Like I got a picture.
He's a college kid. He can't afford a camera.
Nope, he's got a camera.
Oh, see that?
Wow, somebody sacrifice ramen noodles to get a camera.
Did we ID this dude?
All right. What?
Did we ID this dude?
No. Hold on 1 second here, because before we bring him in, I want to point out that I have a booking agent that lied to me. Are you shocked?
No,
I am.
You're shocked.
Yes, that they would lie to you, of all people.
Of all people.
Mr. Integrity.
No, well, also knowing that I will be burying them on air and like spreading it around like it's fucking chlamydia.
Don't be a chlamydia, guys.
And here's the thing. I think he did it. I think he lied to me to spare my feelings.
First of all, what made him
Who
think
likes
he had
you that
feelings?
I know that's exactly what my take on it was. Like, what makes you think that I have any I don't have a heart. But so remember, if you remember back, I told you about 3 weeks ago. I said Sunday night after Thanksgiving is going to be a dead night. Why are we even doing a gig there? And he said, let's just do it anyway. And then Tuesday of this week, he said, I talked to the guy and he said, you're right. It's going to be dead Sunday. Like we shouldn't do the gig there. Turns out that was a lie. I've been replaced by a guy with who's doing like a karaoke show of Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett songs.
What?
Like, exactly. What?
What the fuck?
A guy, and he's a Jew. Not that I'm not. It's not an anti-Semitic.
Okay, calm.
I know, but it's a Jew. Yeah. He's a Jew doing Italian music in an Italian restaurant. I could do the Italian music.
During
I
the
could
weekend
go in
where
with
sales. During the weekend
remember?
where sales are crazy. So he's not trying to save money. He's playing music. Oh man, he's taking Italian jobs. This does not look good for the Jewish
Do you remember people. The guy's name?
Richard Weinstein. Oh, the agent? Or the agent or the guy, the Jewish karaoke guy is Richard Weinstein. Yeah.
Because there was, I don't think it's him though, because there was a guy like 6 months ago that reached out to me about doing a show, and that was his shtick. He was like, I want you to produce a show, and it's like I do like a Frank Sinatra impression, and I'm like, who is asking for this?
It sounds like Tony Viagra found a new gig. That's what it sounds like. Because he started off ripping off Rodney Dangerfield, so now he's moving on to Frank Sinatra.
No, Tony could not do, because every song would be, that's fucking life.
Smell like rotten cunt.
I fucking did it my fucking way.
The lady is a cunt.
Yeah, that's why the lady is. Whoa. You know what? I think we're on to something that could go viral here. And when I say viral, I'm talking about chlamydia. But no, here's the thing. Now, nobody is going to come out on Sunday night on Thanksgiving weekend. But the people who do are going to be like, what the fuck is this? A guy fucking with his little karaoke act doing Frank Sinatra. I mean, I'm sorry. I hate to talk bad about the guy, but that's the lamest fucking shit I ever heard of. You either have a big band or you come with a piano or a guitar and do it yourself. You don't fucking put on karaoke tracks behind you. But the guy was he was lying to me, thinking he was sparing my feelings, and I'm like, you know what? Now I told all the people who I canceled the event on. They said, "What happened?" And I told them the bullshit story that you told me. So now I'm no fucking liar. And I can't say, "Well, I was lied to," and then that doesn't, that doesn't wash. I fucking lied to people because he told me the lie.
Well,
I would have just said,
"Tell him it's not a lie if you believe it," and you believed it. So.
Right. So now when I confronted him with this, like, why the fuck would you lie to me, dude? He said, well, we'll talk Monday. I don't think I'm ever going to talk to this guy again. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm ready to cut people out of my fucking life just for those slightest offense. This is not the slightest offense.
No.
But I'm just not going to answer his calls. Do you agree with me on this point that 100%. This is a matter of principle? Don't fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you don't lie to people if you can avoid it.
I put liars on the same level as thieves, man. If they're gonna lie to your face, then there's no point in dealing with them.
Okay, let's hold off. Let's not broad stroke all liars, because some lies save your life. Like
white lies, white lies are acceptable.
Well, black lies too. Black lies matter.
Black lies matter.
See, now I can't argue that without sounding terrible.
You can.
Obviously the simple white lies work. Like, if your wife says, does this make me look fat? You don't want to hurt her feelings. Obviously stuff like that, right? Or
fuck her feelings. I don't want to hurt my jaw when she socks me.
But I mean, to lie to your face, especially about something that you're making a living on, he knows that you're making a living on it. You have a working relationship, and he's going to lie to you. That's a trust issue. He's messing with your money.
You got it right. Now let me do this. We got golf in the background here. Tyler Barker's here. Tyler is, I believe, the college. See, when you put out the form, it says, tell us about you. And he didn't really tell me anything about him.
I'm pretty sure he's a college student. I saw a picture of him, and he was eating
I'm pretty sure he's a college student.
If it wasn't extra credit, he wasn't going to do it.
In the Northwest, in Washington State, I believe. This is because if you Google Tyler Barker, you're going to come up with Bob Barker's son, Tyler. You're going to come up with 97 Tyler Barkers.
And he is the 1022nd Barker.
If you Google Table for Two podcast, you will come up with 3 different Table for Two podcasts. But Tyler Barker is here now. We'll find out about him. Tyler, good morning.
Hey, hi. How's it going?
My first question is, being a college student, how did you afford a table big enough for 2?
That's a good question, but how are you? I don't actually have a table, which is actually funny, Yeah.
Well,
How you guys doing?
That's part of his 5-minute set right there.
You know what's crazy is I don't have any tables, but I'm a chair. Ironic, right? Back to you, Matt.
Pretty good.
Back to you, Matt.
Pretty good for a guy who can't get picked up in a van.
That's
Yeah.
So Tyler, tell us about you. What's your deal? You got do I have it right? Table for Two podcast is you?
Yeah. So it's pretty much there's no table, and it's just like how people go to dinner. You guys just chat about everything and just have a fun time and hang out with your friends and family and all that. It's kind of like that. So
we don't have friends.
Oh,
we don't have friends, and our family disowned us years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible.
Now, Tyler, I have a question. You heard Matt mention that the vans don't pick me up. How often do you get mistaken for a child and almost picked up?
You have no idea how many times people think I'm still in high school. It's crazy. I'm 25, and people are like, "Wait, I thought you were in high school still." I'm like, "No, I graduated a long time ago."
The pedophiles haven't paid attention to me ever. So I mean, good for you, man. But back to you, Matt.
There's a link now in the description.
They don't want to fuck you. We get it. You got to man up for once in your life.
Yeah, no, it could be me, and I don't even have an excuse or a chair or anything. It's just they just come out. They come out and say, "You know what? We'd rather fuck a Jewish guy doing Frank Sinatra."
Ron, the problem.
I mean, who would?
The reason why Stephen can't ignore it, and we can't ignore Stephen, is because victims become victims, and because Stephen was never raped as a child, he's going around not raping other children. That could be a problem.
Victims. I think you meant to say victims become perpetrators, right? Victims become victims.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
That's not exactly what you said.
No, what did my mic repeat? Because I know what I said. What did my mic say?
All right. We have the link to Table for Two podcast. It doesn't look like it says, but trust me, it works. It will get you there. That's the Spotify version of it. But you're on everywhere, right? You're on iHeartRadio. You're everywhere.
Not really. At first, when I started, I didn't know how to put my links up, and so I only knew how to set up on Spotify. But then I have a second podcast. It's on my YouTube channel, Tyler Barker podcast, and so that one's more into sports because I really like sports, and so I forgot to add that in there. But that one's kind of new because I'm still kind of like figuring that out.
Now, are you using sports as a way to pay for college? Or
no, they're not even paying me. It's like I get at least 10 viewers, so which is not much, but something. It's good. It's good.
Well, I meant gambling because like yesterday you had 3 opportunities. At least if you're like an NFL guy, you had 3 opportunities to make money yesterday,
or to lose money.
Yeah,
or to lose money.
Yeah. Did you guys watch any games last night?
I watched the Lions and Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
I watched 47 seconds of that game,
and then I saw the Cowboys finally get a home win.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a minute of that game,
and then I missed the last game. Honestly,
yeah, the last game wasn't all that great. I was rooting for the Dolphins, but they weren't.
I think their coach is hilarious. That's the only reason I like the Dolphins.
Yeah, I love the Dolphins. I love the coach.
You're not a Seahawks guy?
No, originally I was, but then the Seahawks kind of fell apart. They got a new coach, and then I'm just kind of like, I kind of see where I'm at, but then like I kind of like the last 1 year and a half, I really like the Dolphins of Mike McDaniel and Tua.
So
and
funny.
Get all of that. So I was just like, I'm gonna hop on that train for a little bit. Let me ride that out. I really like the Dolphins, a lot.
Now, see, I'm not.
Are you a Seattle native? Are you a Seattle native, or are you a transplant because of college?
Oh, that's a good question. So actually, I was born in Colorado in 1999, and then my family moved to Spokane, and they watched. Have you guys ever watched Sleepless in Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
One night I couldn't sleep one night, and so I watched it.
That's good. I hope it worked out for you.
So dumb.
This is what you get on Black Friday. We get discount jokes.
I love it. It's good.
You get discount jokes and half off comedians.
3 cents of a joke. That's what
half
you
off
get.
the funny.
Great.
What was that with the? Oh, you got a little.
I'm on my iPad. I forgot.
That's cool. I love it.
All right.
How'd you guys all meet?
In the dark alley.
We haven't met.
In the dark alley with body fluid.
That's what I call schlong division.
Well, it's a long story, but GD's family used to belong to my father's family. They escaped, and it took me almost 100 years to track them down, and then he brought in the other 2 schleps.
Oh, okay.
They were actually bounty hunters. They were hot on my tail. So once Matt caught me, they were like right there.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, I met Matt because GD hired Matt's dad to take out my grandfather.
On a date?
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd it go? How was it?
Gay as hell.
Super gay.
Yeah, we don't mind that.
It's kind of like a Conor McGregor match.
Yeah.
A lot of sweating. Somebody left bleeding.
Yeah.
Nobody called each other afterwards. Yeah.
And there was a rape allegation at the end. He had to settle for like $263,000.
But before I ask you what you're going to school for, I have a question for you that is totally irrelevant to that.
Yeah.
You know who Neil Young is?
Neil who?
Neil Young.
He sounds really familiar, but no.
First guy on the moon.
Lucky.
This is interesting to me because to my generation, and which is like Abe Lincoln's generation, he's iconic. He's like a classic rock star, and very, very successful and well known among people my age. But this is the thing I'm finding out. My wife's last night. She said, "Who you got on the show tomorrow?" I said, "I got Neil Young's brother." She said, "I have no idea who Neil Young is." Steven doesn't know who Neil Young is. I'm finding out nobody knows who Neil Young is.
I know who he is, and it's because I know who he is that I don't really care.
What type of music does he play?
That's it. He doesn't play music. He whines and bitches and moans while he's holding a guitar.
He was
had
kind
a
of
heart of gold, and somebody sold it and pawned it, and
There it
I don't
is.
know how much
Someone
my
with a
gold
little
was
bit of success, and GD goes crazy. This is when the meltdown starts out. Like, I can't take it.
no.
I
He
mean,
definitely.
we get it.
He's got an insecurity and jealousy problem that is just so. He wears it on his face, not on his sleeve. Wears
It
right
was on my face, but on my sleeve. But I kept doing this, and I got it on my face.
Neil Young for you. Ooh. Neil Young does music. Well, he did music that was instrumental in starting the folk rock kind of thing, folky rock. But then it became classic rock, and then he was all over the place. He worked with Pearl Jam for a while back in the early '90s. And, he's all over the place. He did some grunge. Hey, my, rock and roll will never die. Whatever. He's been around a long time and sold millions and millions of records.
Dang, that's cool. How'd you get him on the show?
I don't have him on the show. I got his brother on the show. He'll be on later on. Yeah.
His brother's an author, and Matt is he's like a thirst trap for authors.
Well, no, he's an author, but he's a golfer and a metaphysics guy. Metaphysicist, yes. I met a physicist once.
Try saying that without spitting on your mic 3 times.
Yeah.
I got a physical from a Met.
All right.
Tyler, what are you going to school for? Metaphysics? You're gonna tell me you're going.
Good answer. Yes. No, I'm going for like media and video production. Like I really like the TV industry and like the entertainment industry. So I was like, man, I really like that kind of stuff. So if I can get my hands onto like equipment and camera stuff and all that jazz.
So do you want to be a behind the scenes guy, or you want to be in front of the camera guy?
Both. I don't care. I just want to be in the entertainment business.
I think you could be both, unless you could be in two places at one time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I like the setup you guys got going on here. It's really cool.
It's not really a setup. I got the golf thing behind us. Generally, we don't have the golf thing behind us, but I don't know why. I felt like sticking with the golf thing. This is a general background here.
Oh, that's
cool. It's a little different.
Do you guys go to college too, or no?
100
I've
years
been to
ago.
several colleges. Can't say I ever actually went to them.
I've performed at a few colleges, and I've been kicked out of a few colleges.
Wait,
I've
really?
attended
Why?
a few colleges.
What happened?
Depends on the college. Depends on the college. Once I was on the dean's list, and then I went to the dean's shit list behind accusations that I was doing drugs in class, and that's not true. I was doing them before class and just showing up under the influence. Slightly different.
Yeah. I got caught doing drinking and doing drugs underage at University of Louisville, and the reason I got caught was I got carried when I was found naked from a house to a taxi because I lost my crutches.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even a lie.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's 100% real.
I'm gonna see your story and I'm gonna raise you one. We had a college radio station, and I played In the God of the Vita so I could have a bathroom break, but I never went to the bathroom. My girlfriend and I had sex during the song instead, and then we got caught on air having sex because the mic wasn't quite muted. It was only half muted.
I would trade you that for. Okay, listen, that's bad. But I was carried out in front of 200 frat and fucking sorority people watching me getting carried out spread eagle to a taxi because couldn't find my clothes, I couldn't find my crutches, couldn't find my phone, and they were like, "Well, you can't stay here." Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, girlfriend and I were having sex on the air. We got caught because we had somebody's crutches and clothes just outside.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, just outside the studio. Someone goes, "Whose clothes and crutches are these? And why is the on-air sign on?" That's how we got caught.
Gigi's story is actually somebody else's story. Now, I'm not saying that Gigi's story is not true, but there is actually a very famous case, and I don't want to get into all of it, where a guy actually was having sex on the radio, and the FCC was not pleased with it, and he got banned. But that was commercial radio, not college radio.
Right, this was college, and so the FCC didn't even give a shit.
Yeah.
It was the unfortunate. Somehow there were actually listeners to a college station, and some of them were actually administrators.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, his hands were soft and supple.
Adam, we will not be disparaging because his brother is coming on. You don't want to be saying nasty things about Neil Young. Now, he says Neil Young is a better version of Bob Dylan. Both are whining singers. Now, Bob Dylan was hated Neil Young when Heart of Gold came out because it was all over the radio, and Bob thought that Neil Young was ripping off his sound with the harmonica.
Yeah, you don't want to make fun of anybody.
Neil Young? What the fuck? I understand you don't like music, but this is an abomination. That is the type of music where I savage myself in front of boomers. Then I shoot a thick one in someone's shoulder.
Oh my God!
Oh, right, that's what I'm talking about. Abomination. Abomination.
Yeah.
Yes, abomination.
Here's my issue with Neil Young. Okay, he lies about going to the moon. We all know he didn't go, but he claims he went to the moon.
If you say that to his face, he will punch you out because he believes he went, and that's all that matters.
So
it's not a lie if you believe it.
Again, with that crap. It's the second time you did the Costanza line on this program in one day.
First of all, it's not a Costanza line. I was saying that I learned that line from my parents when I was a child. So Costanza just took a
Can't stand ya.
That's right. He took a standard black adage and just made it popular for white people.
And you don't even know. Maybe Neil Young's brother would be like, I fucking hate that music. I mean, god damn.
No, I don't think so, because he just did a single with him called Hey America, which I'm curious about, because
It's Canadian guys. Now Neil Young is known. He did a anti-war song, Ohio, for Dead and anti-Nick.
Yeah, that was a good song. I like that song. I didn't know that was him. I thought that was Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. But
yeah, but it was Neil Young's song. It was on one of the CSNY albums, but it's his song.
Well, that's okay. That's one of the songs that I really liked. Okay.
All right. So good. Where was I going?
How do you think Neil Young feels being known for being Bob's brother? See, that's the whole thing that bothers me.
Yeah, no, I get it. Being known as somebody's brother, I wouldn't want to be known as my brother's brother, but
even to your brother.
I know. Tyler, comedy.
Yeah.
You how long you been performing comedy? You got 5 minutes together, right? That's it. That's your 5 minute.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Good night. But yeah, I've been
half the job.
Yeah. I've been performing since like 2020. Well, actually, I started improv first, and then I went to school for it and learned all the fundamentals for it, and then I got kind of burnt out. Then I started doing stand up, but I haven't done stand up in so long. Actually, I did an open mic recently.
Okay, you're 25. What do you mean so long? I mean,
that's so long.
What's so long? A week? 2 weeks? You're 25. If
Yeah,
I
like
said so
3
long,
days,
I literally have work boots that are older than you. Red Wing work boots that they're like $164 when I purchased them, and they're probably $300 now.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got failed material that's older than you.
Yes, I have jokes that have died long before you were born.
Oh
my fucking god!
No, really. So,
no.
Because I was just in Seattle not too long ago, and I found that the comedy scene in Seattle was, I don't remember it. I was drinking. So how was it? What's
the comedy? I was going to say the comedy scene in Seattle is tremendous. They have the Seattle Comedy Festival. There's lots of Derek Sheen, who's a friend of mine. He's constantly talking about things that are going on in that scene. It's a tremendous scene. So why are you not doing it in a while? If that's your goal, you should be out doing it every night because there's opportunities to do it every night.
Right.
His goal is TV. His goal is TV production.
Yeah, and also to be on TV too. But getting any rep in would be great. It's just like I live in the countryside. Do you guys know where Gig Harbor is?
Yeah.
You know where Tacoma is, and Gig Harbor is like right there, and then Seattle's like all the way over there. So I'm in college still, so it's just hard to like move around to like go to Seattle every single night. And then like I have an electric car, so I have to plug in. And so if I can I was thinking maybe going to the Tacoma Comedy Club and like doing an open mic there, but I want to work on more of my material and get better at it.
All right.
Have you thought of, since you're like to do TV production, have you thought of using your TV and your videography skills to, let's say, work with comedians and groups to help them record sets and stuff like that? That will help you with getting you more experience, at least working with those types of people. And believe me, they are types of people. And also you could help the comedy community at the same time.
Well,
what is fuck, marry and kill? Is that something that I should know about? Adam, I would do AF. I guess YouTube won't let him say fuck, marry and kill with the hosts. What is that? Can you guys explain to me?
Well, the problem is there's 4 of us, and fuck, marry, kill is which one would you fuck, what would you marry, what would you kill? Which means the 4th one is really left out because they're not even part of the game.
Okay, so let's call it fuck, marry, kill, cuck.
Cuck. You don't have to play the game if you don't want, Tyler.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Because if you choose to cuck me, I'm going to be really offended.
No, it's okay. That's okay. And we're not there yet, so it's okay. Yeah. You guys,
all right.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll answer it next time. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
The marry part is going to be out very soon because when Trump takes office, they're going to outlaw gay marriage everywhere. So we can't.
They're also going to outlaw gay fucking, so that's also out. So the only thing legal will be murder.
Wow.
Oh well, if fucking gay was wrong, I don't want to be right.
Wow.
I don't know. Hey, listen, I'm just
broke
speaking.
my mountain.
Well, if you heard the accent, I was speaking for the entire GOP.
I think you were speaking for all over
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, Alabama they already know that down there, man. I swear to God, man, I'll do my cousin, my sister, my grandma, and my mama all on the same day, man. I swear to God.
Because they're all the same person. This is Alabama.
Let me just this is a callback, I guess. Alabama, everybody in Alabama knows Neil Young. You know why?
They're all related to him.
He had a song called Alabama, which was really, really bad. It was Alabama. It was still basically you're still a slave state, and he was calling out Alabama. And this was at a time when, and then Sweet Home Alabama, and Leonard Skinner came back and said, I hope Neil Young will remember Southern Man don't need him around anyway. He had two songs, Southern Man and Alabama, at the same time, and it was both about slavery and basically that it was still going on even in the 50s and 60s in America. So if coming from Alabama, you should know that.
Here's the thing, I wasn't born there. I grew up there. So
well, then you should know about Neil Young, because you should know how much they hate him down there.
No, because at that time of my life, I didn't listen to anything other than heavy metal and hip hop. So I didn't know anything.
I'm not talking about listening to music. Listening to your neighbor say, "Fuck that Neil Young guy."
Oh no.
All right.
No.
Tyler, when you're looking for guests for your
well,
podcast,
to be fair, I mean, in Alabama, they gave up on toothbrushes too. So I mean, how could you believe anybody from Alabama?
You know why?
That's the reason I got laid so much in Alabama, was because I had teeth still.
Wow.
Because I could chew my food. I could chew the food for my date. And yeah.
So Tyler, do you often get mistaken? Do you often get mistaken for, let's say, an A+ student? Because you look like you look Asian to me.
Thanks. Yeah, I am. I'm half Japanese. Yeah, I'm also half Czech.
What part? Which half? Your parents, your mom, or your dad?
My mom. Yeah, my mom. Yeah.
Good call, GD. That's super racist profiling, but good job.
Thank you. Does she still speak her mother tongue, Japanese? I'm assuming it's Japanese and not.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, how much do you speak?
I'm pretty fluent in it. So me and my mom hold conversations and all this and this and that. I go to Japan kind of frequently. I actually did a comedy show over in Japan over in March. So that was really fun. Yeah, it's called the Tokyo Comedy Bar. If you're all ever in Tokyo, check it out. It's really cool.
I bet with you being bilingual like that, you might be able to get on like cruise ships that go around like around Asia and do shows for people that are, do bilingual shows.
All right, let's go. Since we opened door to just racial.
No, I have one more comedy question. Now, the jokes.
I love your question. Thank you.
Yeah, when you're writing jokes, okay. For example, a joke in English, especially if it depends on English syntax and stuff like that, or wordplay, how difficult is that to translate to Japanese? Or do you just not do those words? I mean, that wordplay.
Yeah. That's a good question. Thank you for your question.
That's a question. We've asked that question so many fucking times. It's the most. Go ahead.
Yes, man. Every time we have a Japanese comedian on, we ask that question.
Yes,
go ahead.
This is awesome. I love it. It's a great question. I love your questions. They're so like, what is it? Very
you
good.
better ought to fuck, marry, and kill him then.
In that order, yeah.
You could kill him first and then fuck him.
Sure.
Then you'd be like Matt for one of his friends. Sorry.
I'm
sorry, Tyler.
You're fine. You're good. You're good.
You're good. About Japanese jokes. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I think for me, I just use like English terms, and then I try to find what makes Japanese. I would actually go and watch Japanese comedy shows and see like TV shows and see what they like to seem funny. And I kind of get inspiration from that. And then I use English for English and I use Japanese for Japanese.
Now, because it seems like, based on my vast knowledge of Japanese culture, which is basically based on 3 shows I've seen, Wipeout and two other shows like that. It seems to me like they like sexy. Actually, I'll take that back. Those have been translated to English for us. So are those shows like that in Japanese, or are they just as sexist and racist and because I think it's funny. I think those shows are hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like when I go to Japan, it's hard to find those shows because like now the all the shows that I watch is like fun game shows, I guess in a way. Yeah, yeah, and then also, a lot of my family watches the news, so pretty much majority of the time they're watching like the news. So it's it's like, oh, okay, cool.
So they're depressed all the time.
Yeah, and then so I try not to like listen to it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Okay, cool. Yeah. Have you guys ever been to Japan? Did you ever go?
No, but it's
I can
on.
Find it on the map. I can find it on the map, and I enjoy the cuisine.
I'm a huge Pokemon fan, so I want to go bad. It's legit like a bucket list item for sure. I want to go see Pokemon Land. I want to go to Nintendo headquarters. Yeah. I want to do all the geeky weird shit out there. I want to eat all the food. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely a bucket list item for sure.
The thing is though, like the food is so tiny, so it's like you're always hungry all the time.
Well, I'm a fat guy, but I don't eat a ton, so that's fine for me.
Oh, he's lying.
I really do. That's the reason I'm fat.
He's not lying. He really is a fat guy.
How much I eat.
I'm not lying about being a fat guy. Yeah. He was telling the half truth there.
Wait, when you guys go, do you guys travel and like work like for like? Do you guys ever travel? Do you ever like try to find?
I've never left this house.
So that's because it's ankle brace that goes off every time he tries.
No, I was in Japan 5 years before you were born. I was there with a cult. And we were teaching hands-on healing. Now, the Japanese people were very much into that, aura healing, chakra. Or we had one of the biggest crowds, I should say, for the workshops and seminars we were doing there than any of the countries we visited. My time there was pretty much limited to hotels. I didn't get out of the hotel for 4 or 5 days that I was there. So I didn't see a whole lot of the culture. But some of the people I know did, and apparently Japanese men were crazy for young blonde-haired American women. It's an interesting thing that they a little bit abusive, not as much as India. India was full-on rapey, but a lot of the people with the cult said the Japanese men were just very aggressive towards them. So there's that.
To answer your question though, I travel around the U.S. a little bit. I don't.
That's not traveling. The U.S. is the U.S.
I don't go outside of it though.
Yeah, you get in the car and you drive to work.
You know how many people from overseas though look at America and they're like, I don't get it. Are they states? Are they small countries? It takes way too long to travel across it. I don't get it. So I still think it counts as travel.
Yeah, but he's not from another country. He's from America.
No, I know he's not. I'm thinking in general. I'm not. Just because he said he's part Japanese, I don't assume that he's got like.
No, we're coming to assumptions. Did you get Did people just assume that you like you're a martial artist and nobody wanted to ever fuck with you because you're Asian?
No. People actually find me like, oh, I thought you were white, but I get like all different like mixes all the time.
I thought you were white.
Oh,
I don't even get that. Nobody ever thinks I'm white.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think either of you were white, to be fair.
Oh, yeah. Cool. What'd you think? What did you think originally? Did you even think of it, or you're like, no, I don't even know?
I mean, it's not like the first thing that I think about when I look at somebody. I wonder what race they are. Yeah. But no, if I was to just meet you, I probably would have guessed Asian of some sort.
Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome.
I get Middle Eastern, and
really?
You could be Caucasian and still be Middle Eastern, but they don't consider like Arabs or Muslims.
I got more pervy Jew from you, Matt, but that's just me.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Can you guys speak any languages? Any other languages?
I'm basically struggling to learn this English thing.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard. Yeah.
GD speaks exclusively bad jokes.
Yeah. I don't. Any language that I used to speak, I'm so rusty and so bad that I can still read a little bit of some of them, but I can't speak any of them very well.
Ron doesn't speak any language,
including English.
Nothing.
Like I used to speak a little Hebrew, but it was only because I could only do Hebrew prayers because I learned my Hebrew from a rabbi. So
I thought you spoke Hebrew because you went to Starbucks all day and talked to the guy barista.
No.
Who's playing dice?
Sorry, it's this rabbit. I'm gonna
rolling dice.
He's got a cup.
Well, you should speak Hebrew.
I get to keep my foot. They're gambling for his foot. It's like, okay.
Wow. What's
Hopefully,
going on?
do you want to get back into Hebrew or no?
I don't know. I guess if I really wanted to, I could. But to be honest, the only time I same with Russian and Chinese or Mandarin, because they have like a few dialects.
Mm-hmm.
And French. If I need it for a joke, then I'll go back into it to find what I need for the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I just leave it alone. And occasionally, I'll meet somebody who speaks it fluently, and then I feel a little guilty that I can't speak back with them. Because I'll try, and then they'll just get angry and say, "Why'd you say that about my family?" or something like that.
Yeah. Just to be clear, he's not funny in any language.
But I think you're pretty funny in my eyes. I thought you're pretty great.
No. Well,
I'm trying to be funny in people's ears. See, I don't need it if they look at me and think I'm funny. Funny in their eyes is totally different.
GD's not trying to be. He's not trying to be funny in people's ears. The last time he went up behind somebody, he went, "You smell different when you're awake," and I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like that's not funny. That's creepy."
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have fallen asleep on me.
Well, you shouldn't have let me fall asleep on top of you. That's your fault.
Now, Tyler, with the podcasting, are you more consistent with that than the comedy? Are you working at it every week? You do it? Or?
Yeah. I don't know. I just really like learning about people and just having a fun conversation with them because, like,
100%, man.
They have like unique stories I would never have guessed. And I learn something new every time. So I just like, whoa, really? I just have no idea. I just like connecting with people. It's really.
I hate people.
Well, if you're just meeting them, why would you have an idea? You're just meeting them.
Yeah,
it's like anything they said, would be like, yeah, I was born in Pennsylvania, but you just met him. It's like, wow, I had no idea. Of course not. You just
That's crazy. You born in Pennsylvania. That's wild. Yeah.
Well, it's usually in their bio, and GD will kind of do a whole lot of extra digging to find out not only were they born in Pennsylvania, but they were supposed to be aborted. And he'll bring that up.
Meant to be a girl or a boy. Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. So, like, when you guys find your guests, like, how do you find guests on your guys' show? Like, what?
They just come out of the fucking woodwork, man. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea where you came from.
Really,
Tyler?
Where did you come from?
Everything
how did you get booked on this program?
Well, I think because I'm on Facebook, and then I think I saw you posted saying we need guests, and like
that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and through that, like I got thousands of people who I have no clue who the fuck they are.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I read your instructions clearly. It's like, hey, follow the link, but everyone like tried to message you in your DM, and you said not to do that. I was like the only person that actually followed your instructions. I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, wow, some people just don't.
And that's how we weed, and that's how people get weeded out. If you can't follow instructions, you're not gonna get on the show.
Well, no, that's not true because he's the only one that actually followed the instructions, but none of these people who were booked actually followed the instructions. It was so frustrating.
Yeah.
But so here's the deal. I have several publicists who reach out to me all the time. There are lots of people who I want to have on the show that you have to go through you have to jump through all sorts of hoops to get celebrities on. First, you have to contact their publicist. Then if their publicist likes you, they'll forward it and sometimes give you direct access. And you have to beg and plead and tell them, you'll kiss their ass and work for them forever to try to promote their book or their work or whatever they're doing forever and ever in perpetuity for the rest of your life. You have to.
And some celebrities you can't even go through their agents. You have to go through their parole officers, which is even more difficult. Like we can't get P. Diddy because we had to go through his parole officer, and P. Diddy's not allowed to associate with known felons.
Well, not just that, but he also wanted paid in baby oil, and we don't have that kind of surplus. So.
Did he actually come on the show?
We could get a baby oil sponsor.
We can't. Well, we should because I'm black and I ash very easily. So if you can find me a lotion that will work, so I can stop wearing long sleeves because my elbows get ashy. You look at my elbows, they get ashy. That's why I wear long sleeves all the time.
And I can grease my wheels with it too, so we can all use it.
Yeah.
And we all know what Ron's going to use it for. He's going to use it to slip into his wife's lingerie.
Ron, do you have a comeback for that insult? No.
That's what I call slong division.
I wasn't listening. What?
Stephen called you a crossdresser.
For you.
Stephen called you a crossdresser and said that's your kink.
Oh, okay.
All right, I know.
I would say it wasn't really an insult. It was more just a statement of fact, really.
Yeah.
So Tyler, what comes first? The food you decide to eat on the show, or the show, and then you say, okay, I'm doing a show about this. You know what would go good with this topic? Pizza. Or do you say?
Say it again. Sorry. Say it again.
Oh, which come when you're doing one of your table for two shows? What comes first? The food that you're going to eat. Like, do you have the food and say, oh, eating this reminds me of such and such, and that's what you talk about? Or do you say, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z, so I'm going to eat this food?
They don't have X, Y, and Z in Seattle.
Well, sorry, what?
They import it. They import X, Y, and Z in Seattle because I had X, Y, and Z when I was out there.
Yeah,
it's
imported from Canada.
It's expensive because they pay the tariffs. But yeah.
Well, he's from Colorado where they eat bull balls and call
I
them
haven't
oysters.
been since 1999. It's been a long time since I've been. I want to go back, but it's been a wild. It's been a minute. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess like I try to eat beforehand because like if I don't eat, I get jittery. I just can't like function without it. I get very hangry. So kind of depending on the day, depending on the mood. I think like last Friday I ate like a pad see ew, some Thai food. That was really good. I think it was Thai food. Is it Thai food? Pad see ew?
Well, I wasn't there. I don't know what you ate. I'm just gonna. If you tell me Thai food, I believe Thai food.
I think so. I think it was good. Yeah. So I had that, and yeah. So like for example, if like we're doing like a show on here, like I would like when we start talking, if I find you very interesting, funny, I'd be like, hey, you should come onto my show, and we could just talk about whatever, and then like we kind of spark off of that, and we just kind of bounce off each other's energy.
Now, do your guests have to be eating the same thing that you're eating? Like they say, okay, we're doing the show, so we're both eating spaghetti. Or...
No, they can eat whatever they want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a barking dog problem.
Did you walk them? Did you walk the dog?
No, the dog wasn't here for walking.
Did you forget to have coffee with the dog before coffee with the dog?
Thanks, Adam, but it's a DVD.
You're muted. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, Matt, you're muted.
You guys carry on for a second without me. I'm going to go beat the dog to death.
Okay. Adam, just for the record, I don't have an album. I have a DVD, and I have 3 specials, maybe 4. 5.
Wow,
if you
you
count
do?
Me. Yeah.
That's cool. What type of music do you do?
Oh, they're also about comedy, but I do. I do have a CD of music, and that is alternative or progressive alternative. Back when we were trying to get famous, we couldn't find anybody who. The main complaint about us was, you guys don't sound like anybody. We're like, right. That was the whole point. So,
just if you've ever heard like Neil Young singing, that's what basically GD's comedy is like. It's really painful. Not funny. It's called unfunny comedy for people with no sense of humor. That's what we call it.
That's my 5th special coming up in next year. That's my next special.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a question for you guys. What do you think? What's your take on like crowd work? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Oh, Tyler, you're oh man, you're barking up the right tree. No pun intended. Man,
he's barkering up the wrong
tree.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, that was some low fruit there, GD. Even I was running over it. So man, I think everyone here agrees that it really takes away from like what stand-up is, Like stand-up was, the comic takes time to work on his performance. He builds his set. He gets it ready. You come out for a comedic experience. You sit back. You have a drink. You enjoy the show. Mm-hmm. And, for me, classic comedy has always been what stand-up comedy is, And then the crowd work just invites people to take part. And, then it makes everyone feel like they have an invitation to be part of the show. Even when they go to see somebody that doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. So that's where I sit.
I just want to say, Steven, stop barking. No, just fuck Steven right in his fucking fat ass and get rid of him. That's the problem.
Deal.
Yeah.
Now you sound like Harvey. What's that guy with the germaphobe from America's Got Talent? Howard something.
Oh, Howie Mandel.
Yeah, now it sounds like Howie Mandel.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? He said "fuck him" in his fat ass. I've never heard.
That's the big Howie Mandel thing. That's yeah.
Wow. Crowd work has its purpose. There are people who were good at it, and it goes back a long way. But it's for people who know how to do it. It's not for everybody. Certainly, there are people who think they can do it and they can't do it. And I don't think it's something you can acquire. You're either a natural people person who can work with people and be funny and insult them without being offensive and all that. That's a gift, but not everybody can do it. But everybody thinks it's easy and it's an easy way out. And because if I go back to when the roots of stand-up comedy, I was around for when stand-up comedy started during vaudeville. And those old cats who could do it did it well without having to worry about offending anybody and all this stuff. And then everybody thought, well, that's easy. I don't have to write jokes. I could just do what they do. But you can't just do what they do because you're not them. Not everybody can be a Matt Rife, and not that I'm holding Matt Rife to any, but he's pretty good at the crowd work he does. But he's been practicing because he was bullied his whole life, and that was his defense mechanism. So he got good at it. But I wouldn't plan on being. It's like that Bruce Lee line about biting. If in a clinch, if you can, and that's your only option, you bite. But you don't go into a fight planning on biting, because if you go into a fight planning on biting, you're going to lose your teeth. It's that kind of.
That's a good analogy. I like that, Matt.
Yeah,
that was good.
What? He's still here? I thought somebody was fucking him in the ass and get rid of him.
Look, he can multitask.
So what do you do crowd work when you
Well, there's been times where crowd work I really go for it, like where like I would start my set, but then like I would not do great at all. And then like I would just start asking questions to the audience, and then like from there they'll get like a whole bunch of laughs, and then I would start doing crowd work, and the rest of my set.
See, and that's what we're saying. That's my thing. It's like my routine is failing, so I'm going to do crowd work. It's like, no, then work on your fucking routine. Okay?
That's the problem. Yeah. Too many people who just think, well, it's an easy escape, and I don't have to write anything, and I'm unprepared. Now I'm going to try to be funny with strangers. It's a really difficult thing.
And if you're at the point where you're doing open mics, chances are half of the audience are going to be comedians there for the open mic. It's kind of hard to do crowd work with a bunch of people who want to do crowd work.
Right.
Because they're not a crowd, they're just there to fuck up your work.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's
and plus all the comics complaining like, I'm gonna kill myself. It's like, then commit to the bit. I mean, come on.
Yeah, do it. Daffy Duck yourself.
Yeah.
That's a whole reference that nobody gets because you're not old.
I have a very low opinion of people who rely on crowd work. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for it, but if that is your shtick, then I think you stink.
I mean,
Don Rickles relied on it pretty much. You think he sunk? He was fucking. He made a 60-year career out of it.
I said if that is your shtick, not if that was. He was a different era. He was a different era and a different person, a different man.
I mean, I have
but he also had material. He had material.
Yeah, I have a couple bits that involve asking the audience for participation, but it's like it's 2 bits out of I can do 30 minutes, and maybe 4 minutes of that is audience participation. But it's like I feel like they know when there's an invite versus if I go up after somebody who did crowd work, now the whole audience feels like they're just invited to partake.
Yeah.
And it bugs me. I just have a gripe about it because of how much it's fucked with my sets in the past.
Yeah.
He doesn't get much sex, so that's why. Sex. Sorry, sex. Never, I miss. It's the microphone. I didn't misheard you. My microphone. I misheard you.
Give me a microphone.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I guess Jackie's not coming. Jackie was supposed to be here at 10. I guess he's not coming. I told him only if you feel like it, but I knew he had a gig to plug. I should find out where his gig is and plug it. So anyway, do you now do you write a lot? Are you actively writing comedy even though you're not out doing? You should be working, man. You should be out there. You should be hitting an open mic tonight.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. No, I go out and go on my own adventures. And I use those stories and I just write them with my own. Like I have a whole doc full of like my own personal stories I have, and I put like the end of like twist of it. Like I heard somewhere that's like 75% truth, but then the other 25% a lie. What do you think of it? Like for that hook at the end of like a joke. So I use that. What do you think of that?
It depends because I know in my case I'm a storyteller for the most part, and my stories they're all true. I'm gonna say 96% true. And that's because some of it's compression. Like in Hollywood, they do somebody's biography in 2 hours. Well, obviously, you're not going to get so many years of life in 2 hours. There's going to be compression. And there's going to be some people that have become composite people, but represented by one individual. So there's some of that in my story, but everything is real. No.
Right. Do your story start out with "Once Upon a Time" and then end with "They lived happily ever after"?
No.
No, my story started off with "They lived happily ever once."
Oh, hey, speak of the devil.
Oh. Now you're calling him the devil? You want to introduce?
I love this man. This man's awesome.
You want to introduce him as the devil? I mean,
No,
that's a terrible thing to say about. Wait, let's leave Tyler here. Where is the devil? There he is. Oh, he's performing at Catch a Rising Star at the Hyatt Regency in Princeton, New Jersey, which is on Carnegie Center Drive in Princeton, New Jersey. Tomorrow night? Isn't it tomorrow night? That's the 30th, right? The one and only Jackie, the Joke Man, Martling. Good morning, Jackie.
No, it's nothing good. What the hell? What kind of wall are you behind? It just took me 20 minutes to sign in.
Really?
It's asking you got to go through Google, you got to go through Stream, and it's StreamYard, but normally I just cut and paste and put it in there, and I'm right on. All of a sudden, you got to go through Google, you got to go through YouTube. Did you change anything?
I didn't, but maybe StreamYard is having issues. I know people recently have had issues. Tyler, did you have issues this morning logging in?
No, I don't think so.
I think I did notice the because I went on another show and it had
we lost GD.
It wouldn't let me do guest sign in. I had to actually sign into StreamYard.
Wow. All right.
So maybe that's what he ran into, was it made him actually log in and create an account versus just popping in.
And I have no idea what I just did because I hit. Of course, every time you're going to use a password, it's a password that you changed recently,
Right.
Enough about me. How do I get onto this? Everything is different. I'm trying to get onto
GD popped out. That's what changed.
GD popped out, yeah.
No.
But how do you get it?
Is it?
Anyway.
How do you get it to be so it's gallery view? There we go.
Yeah, I pushed something.
Oh, okay.
Now, tell me, Catch a Rising Star. I'm confused. I thought that went away. Catch a Rising Star. I was surprised there is even still one anywhere.
There's this girl Susie Yengo. I don't know whether it's her or a conglomerate. Must have bought the rights to the logo.
So it's not the same Catch a Rising Star. It's not like
Theoretically, it is. Hold on. How do I get this back to be big again? I hate this.
I can make it big. Hold on.
There we go. Hi, guys.
No, Matt. No, wrong big.
He said he wanted to make it big.
Wrong big.
Oh, don't be so funny.
I know.
So at any rate, they've owned that name for a long, long time, and there used to be a bunch of them. But now I don't know how many they have. I just know they have the one in Princeton. I've worked there a bunch of times, not in a long time though.
So it's going to be a bunch of academics. Bunch of Princeton. What happened? We just lost.
GD's back. Son of a bitch.
We lost Jackie. How did we lose Jackie? Oh, because we're in a 5 mode. Here, we can go to 6 mode. Hold on. Where's 6?
GD's taking white jobs.
Do you want me to go back at the backstage?
No. Here we go. No, we can add. We can add him to stage. There we go. All right. Yeah. All right. So it's going to be a bunch of academics from Princeton, right?
No, just a bunch of just people from wherever. I don't know how often the college kids come out. I'm not even sure. I haven't been there in a long time. I just hope somebody shows up. That's all.
I'll come. I'm driving to New Jersey tomorrow night.
No, I just want to say, Tyler, have you been introduced to Jackie by chance?
No.
Hi, Tyler.
Okay. Tyler, this is Jackie Martland. He was the king of the one.
Hold on. He's Jackie the Joke Man Martland. He's not just Jackie Martland.
This is Jackie the Joke Man Martland. He was the king of the one-liners back when one-liners meant he was doing coke. So
yeah, very good. I hope you didn't stop the whole program just to do that bad joke, GD. What the fuck?
No, essentially what GD did was he set it up like you're this kid's illegitimate father or grandfather. That's the way
that would be me.
They tried that already.
Yeah.
They tried that in the Stern Show one April Fool's Day. This girl came from Michigan and said that I was her father, and it was the way it was set up was very believable. She had just enough information, and I actually knew the woman and everything, but it wasn't my daughter, so I banged her.
I do have another daughter,
and that one really is mine.
Looks like Bob Young is having trouble signing in, or he's not coming. Either one of those things.
It's impossible to get on here. I don't know what they did. Why do you need Google or YouTube to get on StreamYard?
I have no idea. Like sign into Google.
That's the internet telling them we don't need your goddamn music anymore.
We will.
All right, enough with signing in. So no Neil Young.
Yeah, well, we don't know if he might be having trouble signing in, but he's not here to talk about music, even though he has, if he has a song with Neil called "Hey America," that is part of his Mind Golf book, and that's what he was scheduled to talk about, his Mind Golf book. Do you golf, Jeff?
Just with my mind. No, I do.
Good call.
Not well, but I don't know what mind golf is. I just know that every time I've ever played golf for the last 10 years, when I get to the 14th hole, I say this would be the greatest game in the world if it was over right now.
Wow. Yeah.
14 holes is exactly enough. You get your fill. You found out how bad you are and that you're a little bit better. But those last 4 holes, man, it's just like dragging yourself over parking lot spikes.
I went to go try golfing, but my handicap was too high.
Tell me about when we're not talking about cripples. Introduce me to Tyler. Who's Tyler?
Tyler is a college student, podcaster, comedian with 5 minutes under his belt who hasn't done stand-up in too long. And listen, if you're a young person, I'm saying if you got to be out there doing it. You can't just like haphazardly here and there, right? You got to.
I wouldn't say I'm a comedian yet. I would just say I'm a comic,
No, right away you start saying you're a comedian, and you wait for the day that nobody taps you on the shoulder and says, no, you're not.
Yeah, well, GD's been doing it for 50 years, and he's still not really a comedian, but it sounds like that.
I admire. Where are you from?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there is a big Seattle comedy scene. Have you ever worked the scene in Seattle or any of those?
I've never been out there, and I would love to because I got friends out there, and it's so beautiful. And it's also a good place to commit suicide. And
I committed suicide there.
Not to make a bad joke, but I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right. No, you know what? I have friends out there who are big fans of yours who do shows all the time. I could, if we could, maybe I could facilitate like we did with the Brendan Walsh thing. You getting on some of their shows out there. Maybe
I would really love that. I would love to know. I don't think we had any affiliates. I don't think we were on in Seattle or Portland or any of that. I don't know if the Stern Show reached the upper Northwest, that wall. I mean, we were on in Vancouver for 2 minutes. You know that story, right? We got on to Montreal and Toronto. And, of course, Howard would make the the press conference speech, and I always wrote those. And we announced that we're number one before we even came on the air. But we really went right to the top for like a month or two, and then we were doing so good they added us onto Vancouver and Edmonton. And Vancouver and Edmonton were so enraged by the show that in about a week we were yanked off all 4.
Wow.
Never to be heard from again in Canada. It was insane. All of a sudden, wow, now we're multinational. No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Canada had a more conservative bent on at least listening to Howard and saying it's just too bad for.
You know, it only takes one station owner or one zealot. You know, it's.
I remember taking my mother to a doctor appointment one time, and I had Howard Stern on in the car. This is when he was on NBC, and he was talking about he makes sperm shakes and puts them in a refrigerator, and his wife thought she was putting milk in the coffee and she was putting his sperm shake. And I'm sitting next to I'm taking my mother to a doctor's appointment, and it's just like, well, this is real. I don't know if I should turn it off. But my mother wasn't outraged by it. So the point is, like, how could Canada be so outraged?
Yeah,
by
you
it?
know, please. I mean, who hasn't put sperm in their milk? Come on.
Jackie, this is kind of a serious question. The old Howard Stern shows, are they like archived in any way? So that
YouTube, they're all over YouTube.
You know, you can find just about anything. I don't know how much trouble they've gone to, you know, it always sounds pompous, but I think they absolutely scrubbed a lot of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff that Artie and I did, they don't play on 101 anymore. At least that people tell me. It's very rare to hear the really good shows from the 90s and the Artie shows. But usually if I think of something, if I Google it, you know, Stern Show and whatever name, it comes up. Just about everything is on there.
Yeah.
But I beat Snoop Doggy Dogg in a rolling contest. Wow. On the Stern Show, and Willie Nelson beat me. You know, when we had potheads on, I was the resident pothead. But I'm shocked. I did Jackie Martling, Stern Show, joint rolling contest, all kinds of different and there is nothing. And I know there's no way they would. Not only would they have, why would they scrub that, especially? And now Snoop is huge. But they just,
he's one of the giants who's on our advertising for Daily High Club. They call Snoop one of the giants of cannabis. That's how he's.
And not only is he huge, he's also allowed to coach children in football.
He got a frightening amount of money for the Olympics. Like somebody told me, like hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. You know. But everybody loves him. But I don't know where that footage is, because when he came on, it was, you know, Snoop Doggy Dogg. I could still hear me and Fred going, Snoop Doggy Dogg, because it was so weird. I mean, it was very nice. But that, you know, he's big time now. So it'd be nice to have some footage of me beating his ass in a road.
I'm shocked to discover that you tried the marijuana, because I tried it once. I'm shocked to find out that you actually tried it. They say if you do it once, you might end up like.
No, I rolled it. I didn't try it. But
you guys are injecting marijuanas?
Because we were Howard had us rolling tobacco. You know, and you can't. It's like trying to roll wheat or hay.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it was kind of just a goof. You know,
Tyler, did you ever try the marijuana? Tyler, have you tried the marijuana?
No, I can't do it. No,
you fucking pussy.
I don't even drink either.
What a fucking pussy! How'd you get on this show?
You'll make a good comic.
I'm sorry.
So Jackie, the reason why I asked is because I'm curious about like a new generation of people discovering what you did then, because like, for example, I raised my kids watching Monty Python. Monty Python hasn't been new for like years, but they are still Monty Python fans because I introduced them. So
no, everything is still, you can find everything. all the old Channel 9 shows are on. People can't believe it. The Channel 9 shows were so good. I said, well, just look. Go on YouTube and just put Stern Show Channel 9 and everything pops up.
Right. There are Stern Show groups on Facebook, on Twitter. Not groups on Twitter, but there's a Stern Show handle on Twitter where they share all the stuff, and everything is on YouTube. Even when it wasn't videotaped, you have the audio with stills and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, of course, a real lot of the stuff that's up there about me is negative, and Howard would only replay the stuff that made me look bad and stuff like that, because that. The argument being that's what was funny and that was what was great, but the really good things, seem to have escaped. But there is a lot of the '90s shows. I don't know where people are hearing them or seeing them, but I still get a lot of emails and sometimes texts. I don't know how they get that, but and people saying, "Yeah, I'm Jackie. I'm 24 years old," and I told you this. Like a year or two ago, I got an email, and the guy said, Jackie, I'm 25 years old. I live in Toronto, and I just discovered the Stern Show 2 years ago, and it instantly became my favorite thing in the world. And then I discovered that there were shows on the internet from the old days of the Stern Show, and this was the greatest. He said, it was like having a new favorite band and then finding out that their earlier albums were much better.
Yeah, that's
how
it.
Great what a perfect compliment.
That's awesome.
Right?
But it's also absolutely true. I mean, listen, it's not like I'm the world's biggest aficionado of Stern knowledge, but it was much better before it went to Sirius, in my view. I've heard enough of before it went to Sirius and post Sirius. Satellite radio, that it was much better in the early.
Every time I do a show, I hear from people, why don't you talk about something besides the Stern Show? I say, well, I always get asked about it. It never gets old, so fuck you. But
I want to ask you about Artie, because you brought up Artie. Do you still keep in touch with Artie?
I text him every couple months, and I never hear back. Once in a blue moon, I think I heard back from him like a year ago.
The thing I'm interested in, because it seemed that he took a complete step away from show business, but it seemed like he was getting back into it, at least podcasting and maybe doing some shows recently. Do you know anything about that? Is he back?
Recently, meaning like a year ago or so?
Within the last 6 months, I think. Probably.
Oh, really? Because once in a while, it looks like he's going to put his foot back in the water, but you never know if that's an old ad or an old thing,
Right.
Everybody's rooting for him, and I always tell him, I used to say to him, what are you doing? I don't drink, I'm straight. I'm the kind of guy should be hanging out. When I went to do his podcast.
Well, straight, you mean in relationship to substance. You don't mean, but heterosexual.
Well, he's a good kisser, so that's there. But, but
that doesn't make you gay.
It's like, but I'm the guy to hang out with. I'm not going to, spend 10 minutes and say, hey, let's go get an 8-ball, But he's, years ago, he said, I don't want to be in a world without drugs. I'm like, wow, that sounds like a Peter and Gordon song.
It does. Like, please lock me away. Right. Lock me away is something completely.
Jackie, I have a question. What do you miss most about your days at the Stern Show? Like, what's the main thing you miss about it?
It's 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But what I missed initially, and still, if I had to think about, not money and not fame and not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you miss the camaraderie. That's why I love to do these things, because this is basically, we hung out for 5 hours a day with very, very talented, funny people, and that was you didn't realize at the time that was such an it was like, well, if I leave the show, I'll just go hang out with other people, and it's like. That doesn't exist anywhere else, And that was really great. That was really
But that is exactly what I'm trying to create here, is that it's not really an interview show. It's just a bunch of people hanging out in the morning. As much as I hated being compared to Howard Stern when I was on WNYG, that Stern wannabe, that's exactly what the atmosphere is what I'm trying to recreate.
Yeah, it's not trying to be him. it's trying to have that hangout thing, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
awesome.
are doing it, you know. God, there's so many shows and so many people, but I like doing them. I don't care, you know. Just hopefully get the word out there, you know, when you're doing shows, because it's harder and harder to get people out, you know.
Right.
It's
I just want to mention this. Today's Black Friday sale at Puspatuk Reservation Native Land. You can 25% off all THC products, and there's a $2,000 raffle going on today.
Shit!
You can win $2,000 worth of weed.
Spell that. Puspatuk.
Poos, P-O-O-S-P-A-T-U-C-K. Puspatuk. It's native land.
Is that like the Shinnecock Indians, or?
No, it's in Mastic. It's way closer to you than Shinnecock. Shinnecock is another hour drive.
Mastic isn't crazy. Mastic is Babylon, right? Or a little further.
No, it's Brookhaven, but it's like by Shirley. You know my sister Shirley.
Of course, I know your sister Shirley.
Oh,
yeah, everybody does. Yes.
Oh no.
But so I will be participating in the big raffle today at Puspatuk at Native Land. You know, and you get a free pre-roll with every purchase down there.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Finish inside me. Is that for the day only, Matt? Because I don't think I could make it today. I might be able to make it Sunday. Is it today only?
Well, you'll still be black, so Black Sunday.
No, I'm only black for the duration of Black Friday. After that, after that, I go back to being an African American.
Now that whiny little sounds like you, Ron.
P-O-O-S.
P-O-O-S-P-A-T-U-C-K. It's the Puspatuk Reservation. The name of the place is Native Land.
Speaking of nations and land, you can get cheap viewers on phone. They're so stupid. What is this?
I'll give them a free ad. No, fuck them.
Stupid.
Get off my show. Get off my show one
Who's
time.
that?
Stupid bots, man. They're all over the place.
Bots trying to sell viewers. Hey, Tyler, with your podcasting thing, are you inundated with podcast promoters trying to sell you services, or you want to boost your podcast? I can get you 50,000 viewers. All you have to do is pay me $1,000 a week for the next 60 weeks. Do you get that?
And what's that? What do you just get? Emails?
Yeah, emails, or they DM you on social media constantly. You don't get, but I guarantee for your show, Jackie, Zinn gets them, or whoever's producing you still gets all over. Yep.
You know, I had a TikTok joke. I had a TikTok joke that was up to 980,000 views, and I was so excited. And I told this guy I knew in Houston, I said, "Wow, you know, I know I'm going to get to 1 million. I'm really psyched. It'll be so exciting." And then he texts me and says, "Hey, check it out, man. You're up to 1.1. And I looked and I said, "What'd you do?" He says, "Well, you know, I got you over." I said, I didn't want fake numbers. I was enjoying the fact that I was adding, you know, it was going up incrementally. There were really people that were really accessing the joke.
Hey, PSA, don't, anyone who thinks they're doing that to help out, if you get caught doing that, you can cost somebody their channel or their account. So do not do that for people. That is so dangerous.
Yeah, I didn't. It felt very. I didn't care right or wrong. I just didn't want that to be the way I got to 1 million.
And who are you really lying to? You're lying to yourself, so you can say, "Wow, 30 more people."
It's a cheap pie.
Like I'm not out selling it, you know. Like, so who knows?
Yeah, I hate the bot stuff. So, Wonton Matt, get the fuck off my chat room. How do we ban this guy? Oh, where is he? Is he?
You have to do it at Twitch. Yeah.
He's on Twitch, that motherfucker. Can't ban the
What is? I don't even know what Twitch is.
Twitch is like YouTube, except it's live streamers, but you have to do something. It's not like you could just sit there and talk, which we are doing right now.
If you make me a moderator on Twitch, I can block them in real time as they come on in the future.
Moderator on Twitch. What is?
Oh, it gets too crazy.
Yeah.
See, now you're speaking another language to Matt. Matt has no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Now, what is this thing that everybody's jumping to from Twitter?
Blue Sky?
Yeah, what's the deal with that? Is that
it's a Twitter clone
Yep.
that doesn't have Elon Musk running it and moderating it.
It's one of the guys that co-founded Twitter when it was Twitter. He co-founded it, and then he left when it started getting like too big and it was getting censored and blah blah blah. So he basically cloned the original version of Twitter and turned it into Blue Sky.
I think Stephen's lying again. It was like Stephen lies all day long.
No, I was in their beta program and had
you seem like a beta man.
Schlong division.
So how long before Musk buys that?
Probably after MSNBC.
Yeah,
would be my guess.
Jesus.
I don't know,
but
I don't think it was one. I think Blue Sky is part of the Clitter. I call it Clitter. I just do now. Twitter clones that were just being bought by everyone. You could go on basically any GitHub site and buy a clone of Twitter and put it up. You don't have to be a founder.
Well, but Blue Sky had a whole.
I think you're lying.
No,
I think you're lying.
They had a whole.
I think you're lying. I think you're lying. I think you're lying.
That's fine.
He looks more like a panda to me, but okay, I'll take your analogy.
Can't even fucking bully a guy in a fucking chair. What is wrong with him?
What was that?
What?
Did I just hear Ron?
No.
No.
Ron only speaks. He's like Teller, I say he's like Neil Simon in My Favorite Year. He whispers to somebody else, and they say,
I did Penn and Teller's show out in Las Vegas like 20 years ago, and I went out and did like 12 minutes of filthy jokes. I forget which one of their shows. But I went out and it was a live crowd in Las Vegas at one of the big showrooms. And I killed and I came off stage and walked backstage and Teller was there and he goes, wow, those are great fucking jokes, man. And I thought I was seeing a ghost. I had never heard the guy utter a word in my life. It was like,
Harpo speaks.
Yeah, I was like, of course he can talk, but it just I was a little embarrassed that I jumped, and he was like, "Yeah, I could. You ever think maybe I could talk? You fucking idiot, you know."
Where was it that Harpo actually said something, like on a television show or something, where he added one line and people like freaked out, like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, there are two instances on. Yeah, I think there's two instances on YouTube where you actually hear Harpo's voice. One of them is disputed. They think it's been doctored. So there's one authenticated version of him speaking on YouTube, and his voice, and it's not very long clip. It's like a 20.
Yeah, no, just like a word or two, right? That's
yeah.
That's so funny.
Now, Jackie, have you ever been lied to by a booking agent?
Have I ever not?
Hey, no.
You know there was an original Kramer, of course, right? Kenny Kramer.
Yeah, Kenny Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah. Who? Have you ever had him on your show?
No, you gave me his contact, but he never seems to.
I don't know how. I got to try and reach out to him, get a hold of him, because he's so cool. And he was, when I had a one-man show, he was my first guest. I did all my jokes and songs, and then I had him on, and he said, first thing he said is, we met years ago. He said we both used to get booked by King Broder. Do you know that name?
Yeah, I know King Broder. He used to book me 100 years ago.
He says, King Broder, he says, so we ran into each other a few times. And I said, that guy, he was a mobster. He used to book the Westchester Premier Theater, and I probably shouldn't even say that out loud today.
Right.
Because, who knows? But he said that the first gig he worked for King Broder, it was a wedding. And Broder offered him something like $700. And he said that was so much money. He was thrilled to take the gig. So he does this, and he said I was horrible. And he wasn't much of a stand-up. And he went and did this wedding. And either the bride or the groom said, listen, you're going to see King Broder before I will. Why don't you give him the money? And the guy handed him $5,000. So King Broder got paid $5,000 for the comic.
Wow.
He was given $700 to Kenny Kramer and keeping the balance, which is something a lot of the booking agents do that, but I've never heard it that ridiculously lopsided. They used to book shows for $500 and give us each $30. but you never knew what they were making.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if somebody offers you a gig for $700, you don't have to say yes. He said yes because he was thrilled. It was more money than he was used to making. So there's no real foul. It's just despicable.
I guarantee you that any of the guys up top, if they were offered $700 for a one night gig, they would say yes without even thinking about it, without even asking questions like, "Where is it?" Oh, it's in Australia.
They'd suck a cock. King Brody used to say, we'd get a gig, and I remember Bob Wood saying, I asked Broder how to get there, and he said, go over the George Washington Bridge and ask.
Yeah.
Which I know is an exaggeration, but it's almost how the hell we found gigs back then when you had such bad, directions and no Google and no nothing, and you couldn't drive and read a map. And then you go to New Jersey, and New Jersey, if you miss a turn or an exit, you're going to Pennsylvania before you can turn around. There's no U-turn in the state. Oh, God, I used to get so lost. By the time you got there, you were so shook up,
Yeah. So I got lied to by a booking agent for why Sunday night's gig in the Italian restaurant in Port Washington got canceled. Basically, he made up some lie about why I got canceled. But I honestly think this is my true take on it. I think I got fired. Well, that could be a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. But I think it was because I told your jokes in between, because I was killing 3 hours by myself, and I told a lot of your jokes. And one of the jokes I told there was the diarrhea joke. And I think that's what got me. I think the diarrhea joke, it got me, lost the gig for me.
They're not my jokes. They're great jokes, just from the world from around the world.
Yeah, but I heard it from
that joke is so unbelievable. I never tell that joke on stage because it's so ridiculous.
Why did you tell me that?
It's so ridiculous because you can tell that joke to a 5-year-old, and you can tell that joke on the radio, and you can tell it anywhere. But it throws.
But not in an Italian restaurant. But they did laugh.
Maybe not a restaurant. Of course they laughed. That's so despicable.
See, Tyler, this is what happens when you borrow a joke without permission. You don't get the warnings.
Yeah.
So I think
these aren't my jokes. Don't blame me. Don't hire Jackie. What are you doing?
So I lost my gig, and now they have a guy, a Jewish guy, coming in to do Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett with karaoke tracks instead of me on Sunday night.
Does he do the diarrhea joke?
Yeah.
Not coming for you. Tell you it's because of the dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Now, Jackie, this is sort of a serious question. A lot of comedy clubs, so my understanding is, have like a resident ghost. Some of them are supposed to be haunted by the spirits of certain comedians. Have you ever performed at one of those places where they're supposed to be haunted, and did it seem any different to you? And if you could haunt the club,
because I'm usually the hauntee.
Yeah, he's the dead guy.
That was my next question. If you could haunt the place, not that you believe in that kind of stuff, but if there was a club you could haunt for the rest of your life, just fuck with them, but not your rest of your afterlife, what club would you haunt?
I would never answer that question because I'm still theoretically trying to get shows. So,
I have a question for you. If a train left Chicago going to South, I'm sorry.
Right. When will they arrive?
Right.
I've never heard of haunting. There's a great hotel in Austin, the Drexel Hotel, and I had heard of it because there was supposed to be ghosts there. And I haven't Googled in a long time, so I don't know if they ever did anything. But I went up to the girl at the desk when I got there and said, "Have you got a brochure or something about the ghosts?" And she looked at me and she said, "We don't discuss that. We don't talk about it." I said, "Well, are you crazy?" I said, "That's the greatest selling point." Supposedly in the early 70s, a couple was getting married, and the husband, after the wedding, the husband killed the bride and then took off and disappeared or something like that and killed her at the Drexel.
My hero.
And theoretically, she walks around at night up and down the halls carrying the shopping bags with her wedding gifts in it, which I think is the greatest ghost I've ever heard. And I think that's so funny. And the girl was like, hush, hush about it. I'm like, what are you, crazy? That's a, ghost, believing in ghosts. Next thing you know, people are going to believe in Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. Nobody would believe
people
that.
can get,
Yeah.
Okay, well, Jackie, just for the record, the Comedy Store in West Hollywood's supposed to be haunted. That's listed under the 25 haunted comedy clubs. Broadway Comedy Club in New York, that one's supposed to be haunted. So,
well, you've done Broadway.
What does haunted mean?
Well, in the Comedy Store, it was Ciro's. It was a mob hangout, and it's supposedly haunted by one of the bagmen who was, basically.
Oh, so it was a holdover.
Yeah.
I can see people being frightened.
I don't know. Broadway is probably just haunted by bad.
You know who
jokes.
the bouncer was at Ciro's?
Joey Gaynor? No.
George Schlatter.
Wow.
The guy who created Laughing.
Laughing, yeah.
Yeah, and Rowan and Martin were a regular act at Ciro's, and he wound up tapping them for. There's so much interesting
When
stuff.
you say tapping, I think of something completely different. But all right.
Chose them, all right, you moron.
I know.
The Broadway Comedy Club supposedly is haunted by the ghosts of vaudevillians. Vaudevillian comedians or performers. So
they're still knocking on the door trying to get a gig.
Yeah,
I love.
Yeah.
That vaudeville stuff never gets old. Reading about that, and it's just. There were so many guys and girls that were huge stars back then that we'll never ever hear of. And another thing that I never knew, you know Rosemarie from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah.
Well, she was a child star and a big one, a really big one. And I thought that was very cool. But then you look, there were hundreds of them.
Yeah.
There were so many kids that were child actors that were stars on vaudeville. Because, people had no money. So if you had a kid, you put the kid on stage. Buster Keaton's parents, they had him on stage when he was 3 years old. He actually had a harness with a handle on it. And his father would throw him into the audience. I mean, did you ever see the documentary on him? It's fascinating.
No,
it was the Wild West. You couldn't curse. But you could throw your kids into the audience.
That's where you learned all that physical comedy stuff, right? I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, he's just trying to get back that endorphin high that he got at 3 years old.
All right, Tyler, there will be a quiz after the program. You better learn about all this stuff. Have you heard the name Buster Keaton before?
I have not. No.
Rosemary, I'm sure you have.
That is worth a Google. That is definitely worth a Google. And Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah,
Rosemary. Costello,
McIntyre for Hire. They were my favorites growing up.
I met a girl in California who was so beautiful, and so many people have somewhere in their catacombs is some kind of show business, and this girl was so beautiful. Her grandmother worked in clubs in France. Her grandmother was one of those people that rode a motorcycle inside a big steel ball. Do you ever see?
Oh yeah, the ball of death.
Yeah. But a woman, and this is like it had to be the early 1900s, so they couldn't have been the world's greatest motorcycles. Like those old claptraps you see the Nazis riding. Jesus.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff. The vaudeville stuff is so encompassing. And you know what's great? Al Pacino just wrote a book. And he does the audio version, but he reads it himself. So for 2 weeks, I've been riding around with Al Pacino in the car. It's really great,
Wow.
And his story is terrific. He's a real regular guy.
These guys never saw The Godfather. Steven watched it this weekend for the first time.
Really?
Yeah,
I did.
You believe that? They never saw The Godfather. I've heard them say bad things about it, like it's too boring.
I've never said anything bad about The Godfather.
I never saw that. I don't have any intention to see that.
Adam is asking for you to talk about Stuttering John. Jackie does not talk about Stuttering John ever. It's a taboo subject with him because it brings up bad memories of this time they were stranded together at Cherry Grove. I don't want to get into it, but he doesn't talk about Stuttering John.
I was on Opie's show the other day, and he asked me something about John. I said, I don't want to talk about it. And I guess they did 5 hours on it the next day. You know, I don't even want to hear the name, you know,
right.
like
because of that thing at Cherry Grove, right?
There's no crazy animosity. It's just like, it's so beaten, you know?
Yeah. He seemed, I used to follow him on Twitter. I don't know if he's off Twitter.
Talk about it. Next
no, I'm just saying he's not around anymore. I don't hear from him anymore. But I knew about the Cherry Grove thing because I was there in another room and I could hear you guys, and it was not pleasant.
You know, I got this great thing. I'll send it to you. Did I send it to you already? I don't know where I got it. You know, sometimes you look on your phone and it's something that you saved, and it's a picture of Gary Dell'Abate, and it morphs into Mel Karmazin.
Wow.
It is priceless. I wonder if you could see it here.
Wow.
It is just so funny. Like, oh my God.
Now, this is for all the guys up on top, even though Steven's gone. Mel Karmazin, who is he?
Right.
They don't know.
He was in Lethal Weapon 1
CBS.
and 2.
He was the former head of CBS. Or
That's wow, Ron on the fucking wow, yeah, yeah, very cool. Wow, they do have a kind of a resemblance there, don't they? Maybe it's just a morphin thing. Very weird.
Very funny.
Do you still keep in touch with Gary at all?
No, not really, but no animosity there at all. You just we touch base once in a blue moon for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And in fact, I went to the Gilbert thing the other night, and there was like a big Gilbert tribute thing, and I guess his wife released I think it's a vinyl album of his act, which he had never put out. But there's all kinds of great people there. It was at the Hard Rock. And, you know, there was a deist like Richard Kind and I can never think of people's name. And Dara, his wife, and his producer, and what's his name? I can never think of Susie from Larry David show.
Yeah.
And but there's a bunch of people in the audience, and I was sitting right in the front, and I like Paul Schaefer was in front of me, and Russ Teitelbaum, the producer, you know, and the guy, I finally met the guy with Triumph, the Wonder Dog. You know?
The insult comic.
But they came around, and did I send you this? And Frank said, all right, Jackie, you know, you need to bring us up with a joke. And I said, all right, I'll tell you a joke that Gilbert made me tell whenever I saw him. And I told this great joke, but right behind me was Mike Reese's wife, Denise, and she taped me with the iPhone telling the joke. So it's kind of over my shoulder, but Chevy Chase is right there.
Wow.
And you actually see him laugh and clap for the joke, and he doesn't laugh and clap for anything. So the trouble is it's a little hard to hear because it's very ambient, you know?
Yeah. I want to come back to that really quick, but Tyler, Gilbert Gottfried, you know who Gilbert Gottfried was, right, Tyler?
No, I do not.
Oh my God! You got to get an education in comedy before you go on to comedy.
Hold on. What made you say, I think I want to be a comedian?
Well, to me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when I was in middle school, I really loved to make people laugh without even trying.
Did you see people on TV or on TV shows or?
No, not really. I just really liked to make people laugh. And then back in high school, that's when I got into SNL. Surprisingly, I was like, whoa, I didn't know you can get paid to make people laugh. That's so cool.
You know, but that's really good. That's absolutely organic. And there really is no reason to, you know, like if you ask me what's a famous opera singer from 1970, I couldn't tell you.
Right.
You know, if you have what's it in, there's no need for him to know that.
You got to know Gilbert Gottfried. Come on, that's like
I'm agreeing with you, but you know, like you can't look at Gilbert or you can't look at Abbott. You can't look at anybody nowadays and go, "Well, I'd like to do that," because you can't do that. You know.
Okay,
Gilbert, you should look up for absolute sure.
So, Tyler, do you know who the Affleck duck is?
Yes.
That's Gilbert.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
original Affleck duck was Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Matt, that is the scariest thing in the world. We're sitting there and everybody's taking their turns telling stories and we're all laughing. It was just a delight, like any wake. If you're at a wake, it's always the greatest time, except for the reason you're there. It's like it's a great party, only there's one person missing, And all of a sudden Frank goes, "Oh, we got a voice from beyond. Gilbert wants to say hello." And this guy came on, and I thought it was one of those things, how sometimes you record a bunch of somebody's voice.
This is your life.
And then but then you can use snippets and make it be the answer to the question you ask.
Yeah.
Right. So at first I thought these were just hunks of Gilbert talking that they pulled out. This guy was so exactly Gilbert. Everybody in the place was flabbergasted. And Frank's carrying a conversation with fucking Gilbert.
Right.
And he's this young guy, and he took over the Affleck.
Rosilla!
Oh God, he's just amazing. And who would think Gilbert would be a tough thing to emulate, and he did it exactly.
I loved Gilbert's stand-up, man. So raunchy, so dirty, just so much fun. I loved it.
The Chevy Chase thing.
Were so vulgar and funny.
Oh, Bob Saget was one too. Yeah.
All right, shut the fuck up. I'm talking now. I'm sorry. It's my medication's wearing off. Were you on Stern when the Belzer Chevy Chase thing? I vaguely recall the details of this. But were you still there during that?
Yeah, but Belzer had nothing to do with it.
Belzer was the one who gave Howard the phone number to call Chevy Chase's house at 5:30 in the morning, right?
I was there, but I forgot that was so crazy. I can still hear him yelling at his wife to get off the extension. Do you really think you should be talking to this guy? Get off the phone, Janie. I'll hit. And it got to be such a war. And it got to the point where Chevy Chase actually called Gilbert, off air or, at the show or something and said, "Listen, you got to call off your people." Chevy Chase couldn't take his kid to a Yankee game.
Right.
Because people were throwing shit at him. And that's so low. They think, like, look what I'm doing for you, Howard. Look what I'm doing for you. It's like,
yeah.
But I think he called him off, and but now I know they wound up being best chums. I think Chevy Chase went to Howard's wedding. All his enemies went to his wedding, and I didn't.
Wow. All right. That
was really crazy. And Robert Klein, the same thing. Robert Klein had a world war on the phone with his wife live on the show.
Wow.
I'm sure that's Googleable. Is that how you say it?
Googleable.
Google, that's Googleable.
It's a word now.
If it's not, it should be.
Just made a word, Jackie. Yes.
Make that a t-shirt. Make that a t-shirt. Jackie's face. Googleable.
So that explains, because I was wondering if Chevy Chase had any kind of, because if you were there, I would think if he held any grudge at all, he would do it against everybody who was
No. He's got a grudge, I think, against the world, but he couldn't have been more pleasant and a nicer guy. Everybody mellows out.
Not me. I need to mellow out.
I'm sure Hitler would be fun at a cocktail party now.
Well, I really think Ava brought out, smoothed some of the rough edges. I think Ava really smoothed some of the rough edges on him.
What was she cute?
Yeah.
She was Nazi cute. Yeah, she was Third Reich beautiful.
She was.
I did not see how cute she was.
She was a Third Reich 10.